Thank you. Thank you. Isn't this just a gorgeous theater? It's just lovely. So much history in this building. Good evening. I'm Jerry Revish from WBNS 10 TV, and I'm honored to be with you tonight as the Master of Ceremonies for the Columbus Housing Partnership's 2009 Bringing People Home celebration. Tonight we celebrate Columbus Housing Partnership and the hundreds of CHP partners and friends whose commitment to the housing-related needs of Central Ohio has made our community a much better place in which to live. I'd like to recognize several community leaders and government officials who are with us in the audience tonight, and you can just wave if you're in the room. Franklin County Commissioner Paula Brooks, Columbus City Council Member Herschel Craig, Columbus City Council Member Priscilla Tyson, Columbus Board of Education Member Gary Baker II, Joseph Barnes, Mayor of the Village of Urban Crest, and from Congressman Pat Tiberi's office, Mark Bell. Kevin Boyce is here. Clarence Mingo, Franklin County Auditor. Dale Heidloff and Richard Pfeiffer, City Attorney. Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you for being with us tonight. Now, in addition, Barbara Poppy is with us tonight. As many of you know, Barb will be leaving her current position as Executive Director of the Community Shelter Board to serve as Executive Director of the United States Interagency Council on Homelessness in Washington, D.C. That's a big job. Congratulations, Barb. We're so proud of you. So proud of you. Tonight, we'd also like to thank our title sponsors, American Electric Power, Huntington Bank, our corporate leaders, the Wallach Companies, Columbus Board of Realtors, Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, and Rockford Homes. Our corporate underwriters, Columbia Gas, EMH&T, Enterprise, Key Bank, Limited Brands, Nationwide, and NeighborWorks America. And our media sponsors, the Columbus Dispatch, an organization that's near and dear to my heart, WBNS 10 TV, Sunny 95, Smooth Jazz 103.5, and Mix 107.9. Let's give them a round of applause as well. We appreciate your help tonight. I'm also amazed at all of the other sponsors listed in your program for tonight's event. So let's show our appreciation by giving them a round of applause as well. Everybody in the program. Now, the food for tonight's reception was provided by Catering by Design, and desserts were provided by Zanzibar, right across the street from the theater. Tonight's, yes, round of applause for Zanzibar and Catering by Design. We have great things in store for you tonight, and I know you all are eager to hear about CHP's accomplishments. To learn more about our honorees, Senator George Voinovich, Larry James, and Larry Metzger, and to hear from our featured speaker, Michael Morris. So we just want you to sit back and enjoy this great evening. Now, the need for affordable housing and related services in Central Ohio is at an all-time high. You already know that. Columbus Housing Partnership is answering the call every day by providing affordable rental housing, home buyer education, financial literacy, and foreclosure prevention programs, as well as homes for sale and links to programs and services to help families maintain and keep their homes. Now, to share the highlights of how Columbus Housing Partnership is meeting its mission is someone who lives CHP's mission every day. Amy Clavin has been involved with CHP for over 2 decades. First as a volunteer in legal counsel, then as a board member, and now as CHP's very dedicated leader. Amy and her staff have helped to grow CHP so affordable housing and services can reach every corner of Central Ohio. And if I can digress for just a moment, a couple of weeks ago, when I was preparing for this, Amy was so gracious to take me on a quick tour of some of the properties and neighborhoods that CHP has developed in this town. And I was just amazed at all of these beautiful properties, well-maintained properties, great areas for children to play in, As I was telling her then, you know, you're not building just homes, you are building lives. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of Columbus Housing Partnership, Amy Claiborne.
Good evening, and thank you all for being with us tonight. This has been a challenging year for our community. Housing is a basic need, and with so many people losing their jobs and their homes, now more than ever, we need safe, decent, affordable rental housing. Today, more than 6,000 people will go to sleep in a Columbus Housing Partnership affordable rental home. But more affordable rental homes are needed in our community. Right now, we have 186 new units of affordable housing under development. Our senior apartments and lease option homes for families incorporate green technology where possible. And together, the projects represent a $30 million investment in our community, creating both jobs and economic development. But we don't just provide a roof over someone's head, as Jerry was just saying. We provide links to needed social services, employment services, job training, and educational programs. We do this to stabilize households and to ensure that our residents are successful, both in their housing and in their lives. Through our AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps Vista program, our 50 members helped children grow academically, with 89% of the children in our after-school programs improving last year by 1 letter grade. We served over 13,000 meals to our children during this summer's enrichment programs, ensuring that both minds and bodies were adequately fed. Our members helped make neighborhoods safer and healthier with block watches and community gardens. And our members help reduce eviction and childhood mobility through referrals to social service agencies. But for many, success has been hard to come by. Central Ohio has been hard hit by these turbulent times, with about 8% of our community unemployed. Every day, we see both the financial and emotional toll the recession and resulting unemployment has had on families, children, and loved ones. Our clients all thought that this would never happen to them, but it did. A job loss, a medical bill, a car repair, or an adjustable rate loan have caused thousands of people in our community to lose their homes. So Columbus Housing Partnership has met the challenge. So far this year, we've fielded 12,000 phone calls from people seeking help. This year, we've held over 150 foreclosure prevention workshops, and we anticipate serving over 1,600 individuals and families this year who are in default on their home loans, and we're happy to tell you that most will be able to keep their homes. But we know that because of the stigma and embarrassment associated with foreclosure, many are reluctant to seek help in a setting like our training room. So with the help of the Huntington, we have developed innovative foreclosure workshops so people can interact with our foreclosure specialists in the privacy of their own homes. But we know that the best way to prevent a foreclosure is by people preparing before they buy a home. And for some in our community, the $8,000 federal tax credit, low interest rates, and low home prices makes now a great time to buy a home. So here at Columbus Housing Partnership, we're continuing to educate people and prepare them for successful home ownership. This year, about 750 households will graduate from our free homebuyer education program, and it's endorsed by the Columbus Board of Realtors. Many of these people will buy homes. And many people are buying quality homes from Homeport, Columbus Housing Partnership's homeownership development and sales division. In its 5-year history, we are proud to tell you that Homeport has sold 62 homes, and none of them have been lost to foreclosure. Thank you. So tonight we are here in the beautifully restored Lincoln Theater. In fact, the theater building just received the Preservation Merit Award from the Ohio Historical Society. We chose this location to highlight the extraordinary changes taking place in this historic neighborhood. Over the past 5 years, with the help of our partners, we have increased home ownership in the North of Broad community by 300%. And this is supporting the revitalization of the King Lincoln District. We have accomplished this by turning vacant lots and boarded up houses into homes. Just down the street in the North of Broad area is one particular home we can all be proud of. It is the greenest home in our city and in the state of Ohio. AEP was one of the partners whose support was instrumental in its creation. To continue this important work of revitalizing Central City neighborhoods, public-private partnerships like this are crucial. For 22 years, Columbus Housing Partnership have served the housing-related needs of Central Ohio under our name, Columbus Housing Partnership. But it is difficult to explain all the things that we do. For that reason, we will soon unveil a new marketing strategy that will better communicate our programs and services, while continuing the quality and integrity that people have come to know and expect. All of our programs will be marketed under the name Homeport. The name Homeport will showcase an innovative solution to the housing needs of Central Ohio and will be presented through 4 programs, all brought to you by Columbus Housing Partnership. We will not go away. We're not doing a name change. We're just changing our marketing to market under the name Homeport. And we look forward to rolling this out early next year. The economic challenges of this year have been daunting to many of you and to us as a nonprofit. Thank you to our partners and friends. Thank you for being with us tonight, for all your support and all you do. But there is still much more that needs to be done. You can help our families by spreading the word that free help is available at CHP, that someone looking for an affordable place to live can find a home through us. You can help families by providing to Columbus Housing Partnership both resources and the financial support necessary to help people in our community lead healthy and stable lives, avoid foreclosure, and ensure that safe, decent, and affordable housing is available to all. So together, we can continue to make a difference in the lives of those in our community. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Amy. What a great story. What a great story. Well, as you just heard, Columbus Housing Partnership is in our neighborhoods, ensuring that families have a safe, decent, and affordable place to call home. They cannot do it alone, though. Many of you have helped CHP through the years, and tonight we will recognize 3 individuals for their commitment to CHP's mission and the improvement of our community. In 1997, CHP created the Bringing People Home Award to honor individuals, corporations, and organizations that advocate for affordable housing, have made housing-related services a priority, and encourage others to care about the long-term development of affordable housing. So, to present the first award tonight, please welcome the chair of the Columbus Housing Partnership's Board of Directors, Lynn Elliott. Lynn?
Thank you, Jerry. Actually, tonight, I'm a stand-in for Mayor Michael Coleman, who had to be in Washington, so this is my 5 minutes of fame. How many people have been a stand-in for Michael Coleman? It's great. I'm here tonight to say a few words about someone I admire a great deal. George Voinovich has been serving Ohioans for almost 40 years. That's a long time. Before he was elected to the U.S. Senate in 1998, George Voinovich was served as a county auditor, as a state legislator, as lieutenant governor, 10 years as mayor of Cleveland, and 8 years as governor of Ohio. That's a pretty admirable career. Senator Voinovich knows that Ohio homeowners are hurting like never before. And that's why he has led the way in bringing our great state some much needed relief, personally spearheading the first piece of foreclosure crisis relief legislation that became law in 1997. Senator Voinovich understands that we must take concrete action to help protect Ohio homeowners, which is why he supported the Neighborhood Stabilization Program in the Housing and Economic Recovery Act. And he's committed to making sure local communities have the support needed to implement the NSP programs, which communities such as ours are benefiting from today. Furthermore, the senator secured 6 additional provisions to provide immediate relief and assistance for struggling Ohio homeowners and employers in the Housing and Economic Recovery Act. Next year, Senator Voinovich will go into a well-deserved retirement. He'll get the opportunity to spend more time with his wife Janet, his children, and his grandchildren. Their gain will be our loss. Unfortunately, Senator Voinovich is stuck in Worthington. Maybe he's with Michael Coleman, I'm not sure. This evening, he sent us a video greeting for you to see. Tonight, let us honor a true public servant with the 2009 Bringing People Home Award, George Voinovich.
I'm honored to share in this evening's celebration with you, and I really wish I could be there with you in person. I'd first like to thank Michael Morris for hosting tonight. Mike, good friend, you are a great role model for corporate involvement in the community. And American Electric Power has done so much for Columbus and Ohio. Mayor Coleman, thank you for taking time from your very busy schedule to present this award to me tonight. You have been a good friend and have hosted me on several visits to your city's neighborhoods, and I've always enjoyed the time that I've spent with you at City Hall. I'd also like to acknowledge Columbus Housing Partnership CEO and President Amy Klavan, and Vice President of Community Relations and Government Affairs, Maud Hill, as well as the CHP board members, your community partners, and the wonderful team of professionals at CHP. You know, I've enjoyed working with you, and I appreciate the warm hospitality that you've extended to me over the years. I'm privileged to be in good company tonight, accepting this award. Larry Metzger and Larry James, a special thanks to each of you for the work that you do. CHP has been a valuable resource to me and to my staff. As the housing and foreclosure crisis tightened on our nation, the information and feedback from the front lines of the crisis was critical to our work in Congress. In December of 2007 and again in December of 2008, CHP participated in community visits and tours hosted by Mayor Coleman. In September of 2008, CHP hosted a listening session with me about the challenges they were facing, from funding to meeting the regulatory problems created by legislation coming out of Washington. The Columbus Housing Partnership has my gratitude and respect for the work that you do. You're truly making a difference in the lives of people who live in Columbus neighborhoods. I'm truly humbled by your recognition. In the notification letter I received from Amy Klavan in June, she indicated the Bring People Home Award was, quote, designed to honor individuals and organizations who are strong advocates for affordable housing and whose work and commitment to affordable housing inspires others to take action, end of quote. You know, I'm honored that my work could help advance the work that CHP does. As a former mayor and governor, I have a long commitment to quality, affordable housing, strong neighborhoods, and communities. You know, the vitality of a city is generated in its neighborhoods. And over the years, I've fought for low-income housing tax credit, the extension of our community development block grant program, and most recently, legislation to respond to the subprime foreclosure crisis and strong support for the neighborhood stabilization program that I know is making a real difference for you here in Columbus. But you know, at the end of the day, it's those of you at CHP who are to be commended for the work you do and your service to Central Ohio. Again, thank you for this wonderful award. I look forward to continuing to work with the Columbus Housing Partnership as we move Columbus and Ohio forward. You can count on me. You know, I'm going to be retiring at the end of next year, but you've got my commitment to do everything I can to help you between now and that time, and maybe even after that time. The challenges we face today are formidable as we confront the worst recession since the Depression. And I know all of you get tired, and you know what? So do I. But when I do, I think of Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. They that hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not grow faint. And last, our wonderful state motto, with God, all things are possible.
I'm back. This time, acting as myself. I'd like you to take a moment and look around this beautiful theater. You know, back in the green room, it's really beige back there, but they're calling it green. They always call it the green room. Larry and I were talking about this theater and what it looked like before. And here's the after. This is a tremendous accomplishment. This is an 80-year-old landmark, and I personally feel very privileged to be here tonight. And tonight's honoree is my good friend, Larry James, and Larry is the chairman of the Lincoln Theater Association, and he was instrumental in the rebirth of this theater. You know, some 15 years ago, Larry gave me a book, a beautiful coffee table book of photographs. And the name of that book was called Feeling the Spirit. And I've treasured it. And when I walked in here tonight and I looked around this room, you could feel the spirit of people here. I think it's a tremendous testament. Larry also serves as a dedicated member of the board of the King Arts Center, and his tireless work has helped transform the King Lincoln District. His efforts on behalf of the community are done in addition to his full-time day job as partner in the law firm of Crabb, Brown & James. Larry's commitment to public service has improved our cities and our lives. So it is with a very distinct honor that I introduce Larry to all of you, and I ask that you please join me in honoring Mr. Larry James with this 2009 Bringing People Home Award.
The first factor is a quality of life. It's a quality of life for all those citizens who want decent housing throughout the community. Columbus Housing Partnership has been around for at least 22 years, and I would say without it, this community would be hurting tremendously.
Thank you.
What this award means to me and my family, I can't put into words. I think any time you've been involved with an organization that has done as much as Columbus Housing Partnership, you can only simply say thank you.
Good evening. Welcome to your Lincoln Theater. It's an honor and a privilege to accept this award. So Columbus Housing Partnership, thank you. Thank you for holding this ceremony at this location. Thank you, Amy, board members, and staff members of CHP for all the work you've done for so many years to make Columbus, Ohio a better place to live for everyone. I'd like to thank the board of the King Arts Complex, the staff, the supporters, because you go back to 1987, I had the opportunity to cut the ribbon as the doors open at the King Arts Complex. I would like to thank the staff and the board of Kappa, who assisted in the management and the build out of this. Todd Bemis, one of the employees, we have this joke, there's a photograph of Todd and I in my office and the same photograph in his office. We said we were separated at birth and reunited at the Lincoln Theater. Obviously, I'd like to thank our law firm, Crabb, Brown & James, and my wife and my family. No one gets to a place to do as much good without a solid team. I was telling Kevin Boyce as we were sitting talking, I said, I just happen to be at the right place at the right time with the right people. Think about this. Columbus City Council, Columbus Mayor, Franklin County Commissioners, the corporate community, individuals that just came forward and did some great things to make this happen. So I just happen to be kind of the maestro in the right place with at the right time with a great team. I want to tell you one of these stories. I went to Kappa's gala, and I got to sit next to a individual by the name of Jane Zimmerman. I'd never met Jane before, and after that Saturday night event, Bill Connor called me on Monday and said, Jane's going to write a check for $50,000. She was that impressed with the vision. And the thing I came away with, and with the joy I've taken from this journey, is that in Columbus, Ohio, we find ourselves separated in many ways, not only by race, economics, and other ways. But you know, the great thing I've learned about this community and this journey, when we meet each other and we get to know each other, we grow to really, really like each other. I think that is what Columbus Housing Partnership has done, as it's offered up the quality of life for so many individuals that would never have the opportunity to do this. I don't know, I've asked myself sometimes what keeps driving us to do good, and it's return on the investment and the joy that it brings to so many others, because you do not live until you help someone else live. Thank you for the opportunity to serve.
My name's Skip Weiler. I'm president of the Robert Weiler Company, and here with me is Franklin County Commissioner Paula Brooks. Larry Metzger has been the CEO of the Columbus Board of Realtors for close to 25 years. Time flies when we're having fun. He's been a huge advocate for Central Ohio real estate and providing affordable housing in our community. He's been a board member at CHP for almost 10 years. And as many know, he'll be retiring at the end of this year.
It was my honor to be here in 2006 to actually receive the award on behalf of the Franklin County Commissioners, Bringing People Home. But you know, in that year, someone was missing, and that was Larry Metzger. Because Larry really worked with us to ensure that people throughout Franklin County have affordable homes and are not homeless. So tonight, it's my pleasure to present Larry Metzger with this resolution from the Board of Commissioners. Larry, you've meant so much to us, and I also want to thank or honor Larry James, Mike Morris, and Senator Voinovich for all of the work that they've done in their honor tonight.
Larry's done quite a bit for Columbus real estate, and we're proud of all he's done, although I'll say the thing I'm most proud is that he's my friend. And so please join me in honoring Larry Metzger with the 2009 Bringing People Home Award.
Well, I think what most people don't realize about the Columbus Housing Partnership is that as a 501c3 organization, it by far is the largest provider of housing for the working poor and counseling for the working poor in Central Ohio. I don't think I'm the honoree. I think probably the greatest thing and greatest opportunity I've had is to be probably really a fortunate man that's been given the opportunity to be the persona of a partnership with the real estate industry, which I define as lenders, realtors, home builders, and the Columbus Housing Partnership. And I think what we can see is that that group was more than willing and more than able to provide housing for the working poor in Central Ohio. In addition, I think that the award gives me the opportunity to remind everybody that will be attending the celebration this year that everything that we get in America comes from corporate America, comes from business, resources provided by capitalism and free enterprise that provides everything. I think I'd like to have the opportunity to remind everybody that the most important rights we have are those personal rights, those private property rights granted to us and protected by the Constitution of the United States. That only in America do we have this group that provides these resources for everything that we do. Thanks, Skip and Paula, and thanks for all of you. I really appreciate this opportunity. You know, I feel a little like Ebenezer Scrooge. I don't know if all of you remember Ebenezer Scrooge and the Christmas Carol, which every year I would watch it and I'd build my Christmas toys. And the scene that I think I loved the most was when he ran up the stairs and scared away his housekeeper, and he sat up at the end of the stairs in his bathrobe and he goes, "I don't deserve to be so happy." Well, I think that's Larry Metzger. My speech is going to be about thank yous tonight because it is thank yous. And I guess the first thank you that is to my wife, Deanna, with the patience that she's had these last 25 years. I moved to Columbus, Ohio, knowing 3 people, given the challenge that I should know about everybody. And I did, night after night, day after day, month after month. And she gave me that patience. She understood how important it was that I do that job. I guess I want to thank the Columbus Housing Partnership for the opportunity to serve as a member of the board. The chairman, Lynn Elliott, who's donated her time as a staff, as a volunteer. But most important, what she's donated is her skill in raising money. The knowledge that she has, knowing that what it takes to this organization is bringing money in from the community and from the business community. I guess I should thank Amy, chairman of the board, CEO, because I'm going to tell you, this lady has been the president of this organization during its most prosperous years. So thank you, Amy. And I think that I want to thank the board of directors for giving me the privilege of being the 2000 honoree. An honoree for not what I've done, but for having the wonderful opportunity, as I said in the tape, of being the persona of the Columbus Board of Realtors, an organization and its members, not only that take from the community, but give back to the community multiple times over. And thank you, Jim and Patty Rouse. For those of you that aren't aware, they created the Enterprise Foundation. The group that President Sandy Simpson decided we as the realtors need to bring to this community to create a special partnership. That president that year was George Sandy Simpson, was 1986. And I can recall Jim saying, this is the most unusual partnership that we've seen all across America. Just think, the realtors, the lenders, and the builders going together to create this organization to provide housing and shelter for the working poor in Central Ohio. So with that, I thank Max Holzer, Don Kelly, Bob Weiler, Dan Galbraith, and Mel and Irving Schottenstein. Real estate developers, realtors, who in my opinion took a big risk, who had great wisdom and vision well ahead of their time. Nowhere in America do we see a board of realtors and a building community that's done what we've done in Central Ohio. And that's because we're part of this community. If the community doesn't thrive, if the community doesn't do well, we don't do well. So we brought the Enterprise Foundation to the Ohio, and it's been important. And that risk has paid off in the success of the Columbus Housing Partnership. They are the largest provider of affordable housing for the working poor in Central Ohio. Since its inception, it's developed over 4,000 affordable housing units for the working poor. And I say that again, the working poor. Those that get out and do the job and have the funds that it needs to get involved. They are the largest provider of homeownership education and counseling for homeowners in Central Ohio. I think the ingredient that the realtors and the business community felt most important, because you have to prepare people to understand homeownership and the responsibilities of those homeownership and the sacrifice. And it's with that education that's kept these people in their homes. And until recently, we didn't know that we were going to have this crisis. But in the last 2 years, they provided counseling to almost 3,000 families to keep their homes, to prevent them from losing them because of foreclosures. That success to me is proof positive that the business community can do anything. And in my opinion, in most cases, we do everything. In closing, I want to remind all of you in attendance this evening that it's the business community and corporate America and the resources produced by their profits that funds all things in America. And remember that the most important rights that we have are our personal freedoms and our private property rights. As I leave, like the senator, I'd like to leave you with a couple of quotes that I think have guided my career as being the advocate for the realtors and representing them in the things I do. The first one comes from President Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president, a Republican, by the way, who said these things. You cannot help the poor by destroying the rich. You cannot strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. You cannot bring about that prosperity by discouraging thrift. You cannot lift the wage earner by pulling down the wage payer. You cannot further the brotherhood of man by inciting class hatred. You cannot build character and courage by taking away people's initiative and independence. You cannot help people permanently by doing for them what they could and should do for themselves. And finally, as so eloquently stated by Thomas Jefferson, a Democrat, and the third president of the United States, a government big enough to give you everything that you want is strong enough to take everything you have. With that, I say thank you. God bless America.
Wonderful, Larry. Thank you so much. What great words from all of our honorees tonight, including Larry James and Senator Voinovich. I do have a couple of proclamations that I'd just like to read in part. They were sent here by Patrick T. Berry, Congress member. This is in recognition of Larry Metzger. Through your service at the helm of the Columbus Board of Realtors, you earned a tremendous reputation for hard work and vision. Your unparalleled leadership and passion for your craft has helped maintain the realtor profession's role in the tremendous growth of Central Ohio, playing an irreplaceable part in the furtherance of the American dream for thousands. You truly are a pillar of the community, taking an active hand in the betterment of Columbus. Therefore, for your life of perseverant service and consistent hard work in the real estate industry, I commend you, Larry Metzger, on your recognition from the Columbus Housing Partnership. As a former realtor, I am particularly pleased to recognize your work. You truly are deserving of this award. Congratulations again. I'm pleased to commend you on this accomplishment. Presented this 27th day of October, 2009, Pat T. Perry. And this from the Congressman for Larry James. You have given much of your professional career to the development of the city of Columbus, serving in a number of leadership positions and countless numbers of governmental and nonprofit organizations which seek to improve housing in the community. By your involvement in these groups, you had an immeasurable impact in the continued development and growth of Columbus, helping to enhance the culture of homeownership across the city. In all areas of your career, you were a model citizen, giving your time and expertise. I hope the spirit and passion for public service you daily bring forth in your life and work continues to inspire this city for years to come. For your life of perseverant service to Ohio and consistent hard work toward the betterment of our fair state, I commend you upon your recognition from the Columbus Housing Partnership. Congratulations again. I'm pleased to commend you on this accomplishment. Presented this 27th day of October, 2009, Pat T. Berry. I'd like to take a moment to thank again our sponsors for tonight. They have stepped up to the plate to make tonight's event successful and to help CHP and our community with quality, affordable housing and home buyer education, which is the most important way to prevent future foreclosures. So thank you to all our presenting sponsors, American Electric Power and Huntington Bank, as well as the many other generous corporate and individual sponsors. In addition, I'd like to thank the wonderful team of Columbus Housing Partnership, and as I call on you, please stand to be recognized tonight. CHP's Board of Directors, would you stand, please? There they are. They graciously volunteer their time and expertise to lead the organization. And how about the staff of Columbus Housing Partnership? Staff, please stand. Hard-working people. They work tirelessly to ensure that the housing needs of our community are met. And the AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps Vista members, are you here? Please, AmeriCorps, stand. There you are. They give a year of service to better our community. We should also thank the property management companies who ensure that CHP's affordable rental communities are successful. So please join me in thanking all of them as well. Now, at the heart of the Columbus Housing Partnership's work are the families who receive access to affordable housing, who receive important home buyer education from CHP's expert staff, and get help for foreclosure-related issues. With us tonight are several families who want to share the success they have had through CHP. And now, our client testimonials.
Good evening. My name is Brooklyn, and this is my husband, Phil Hahn. I would first like to start by saying thank you to Huntington Bank and Columbus Housing Partnership for giving my family and I the opportunity to purchase such a great home. We were tired of renting and just wanted more room for our son, Charlie, who is now running and jumping. We needed a home that he could grow up in. We searched and searched for the right home, but everything that we wanted was either out of our price range or what we could afford was not where we wanted to be. We were ready to give up before we found the home we live in now. Our realtor, Betsy Liska, told us about the Huntington Homeownership Alliance partnered with Columbus Housing Partnership. We looked into the programs and took the steps needed in order to complete the financial fitness and home buyer education workshops. The programs really made it affordable for us to buy at a rate not much more than what we were paying when we rented. We were able to get a home because of low interest rate and the down payment assistance, which made our monthly payment only $100 more than what we were paying while we were renting. We hope that more people are able to take advantage of this great program. Thanks to CHP Homebuyer Education thanks to CHP for the Home Buyer Education Program, we feel we were well prepared to understand the home buying process, what was required and what we had expected. Thanks to the special hometown mortgage, we were able to get a great rate with a great payment. Without the help of Huntington and CHP, we never would have gotten the first house of our dreams. We just want to thank everyone for the opportunity to have such a great home. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Columbus Housing Partnership and everyone at Pheasant Run Apartments for providing outstanding programs for its residents. These programs have helped my family enormously. I'm a single mother of 3, and I've been living at Pheasant Run since October of 2000. I am a full-time pre-medical student and political activist. I heard about CHP through a close friend of mine. I was newly divorced and looking for a great place to relocate with my children. Pheasant Run Apartments is one of the 5 rental communities of CHP that offers after-school programming for its residents. This program provides 5 afternoons a week of homework assistance for my 10, 12, and 14-year-old sons, along with tutoring from local college students at least 2 times a week. My 3 children have greatly benefited from these programs offered at Pheasant Run. Their grades have improved and their ability to interact with other children has improved as well. Throughout the duration of our residency, I have had the opportunity to volunteer with the after-school program and various other community programs. I have seen firsthand how worthwhile this really is for our community. For the duration of our residency, CHP has been very reliable for me and my family. I have enjoyed every volunteer opportunity I've been involved with, whether it was helping the children with their homework or planting flowers to enhance the quality of our community. We have also received the benefit of take-home groceries twice a month, which has been a tremendous help for our family. It's a relief knowing that I have a little extra help with putting food on the table for my kids. The programs have not only helped my children, they have helped me too. The support that I have received enables me to continue pursuing my goal of obtaining my medical degree. All of these benefits have made living at Pheasant Run a very pleasant experience for all of us and have improved our quality of life. The staff and volunteers have made Pheasant Run feel like a real community. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Brenda, and this is my husband Barry. Barry was previously married when he purchased his home. Approximately 2 months after they received the loan for the home, he and his first wife split up, and he was left with the house payments, plus trying to catch up on utility bills that had slid by. Barry and I started dating shortly thereafter, and 2007 was a challenging year. I did all I could to help Barry get caught up with the bills. There were several factors and emergency expenses that caused us to get behind with the mortgage payments. Around the end of November of 2007, we were served with foreclosure papers. At the bottom of one of the papers was a number to call for help on how to avoid foreclosure. Barry called the number and registered for a seminar in December with Layden Hale at Columbus Housing Partnership. Layden, Barry, and I had a conference call with the company we made the mortgage payments to. Layden went over all of the information with us once again after the phone call. We submitted our information to Home Ec, and after a few months of waiting, finally heard that we were approved for a loan modification this past March. Not only did Layden help us save our home, but it was because of his very assistance that we were able to get married. Barry didn't want to get married until we knew for sure we would be able to keep the house and had all of the payments caught up and our finances in order. So as far as I am personally concerned, Layden is my hero. Barry's too. We have a home that we can call our own with no landlord to have to worry about, and we don't have to worry about having a place to take care of our pets, 2 cats and 2 dogs. And I got to marry the man of my dreams.
Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Did we get all our pictures? We good? Okay, we're good. Thank you again. Let's give them a round of applause as they leave the stage. What great stories. That's so wonderful. We really want to thank each of you for sharing your stories with us tonight. Each of you gives so much hope to those who need it most right now. Our featured speaker tonight needs no introduction to this community. Michael Morris is Chairman, President, and CEO of American Electric Power. Every time you flip a light on, thank Mr. Morris, huh? There are so many new, exciting things happening in the energy sector today, and AEP, through Mr. Morris's leadership, is involved in many of them. Mr. Morris is leading AEP's effort to develop an advanced interstate high voltage system, innovative carbon capture and storage systems at AEP, coal-powered plants, and energy efficiency and load demand reduction initiatives, as well as integration of new intelligent grid technologies. Morris was born in Fremont, Ohio, graduated from Eastern Michigan University with both bachelor's and master's degrees in science. Morris received a law degree, cum laude, from the Detroit College of Law, and he is a member of the Michigan Bar Association. Please join us in welcoming Michael Morris.
Thank you very much, Jerry. It's a bit humbling to be here tonight as a featured speaker when the 3 families that came up here just a few moments ago are truly the featured speakers of what the Columbus Housing Partnership stands for and the many things that Amy and her team have accomplished over an extended period of time. Larry Metzger mentioned that there are 4,000 units have been provided to families in this community. 24,000 lives have been touched by that over an extended period of time. The 21,688 men and women who work at American Electric Power through our operating subsidiaries here in Ohio, as well as the AEP Foundation, over the years have contributed $420,000 to this fine organization to see to it that people can have a house and comfort and knowledge that they can afford that house and keep that house. Senator Voinovich said something that truly struck me, and that is that communities are an aggregation of neighborhoods, neighborhoods are an aggregation of homes, and homes are an aggregation of spirit of the human body. And the stories that I heard tonight from the 3 families who came up here touched me deeply. Amy said something when she was here making her presentation with the energy that she brings to the job, that tonight 6,000 humans will go to bed in a comfortable, affordable, and beautiful home. A home that they know they can live in, cherish, put what we all call sweat equity and love into an organization, into a place, raise their families in the safety of those homes, and know that that community involvement, that neighborhood involvement, that family involvement will allow everyone to have an opportunity to be successful, as Larry Metzger shared with us in his comments. It really is touching to see that. Jerry, I had the same opportunity. Amy obviously has this drill she goes through. She took Dale Heideloff and I and some others on a tour in her little bus. And what we saw were some of the communities that you saw in the captions earlier tonight. What we saw were the buildings that housed individuals. We went to one of their centers where during summer months, when typically students have that slide back a little bit, children like the Palmer family have an opportunity to go there and be exposed to computer technology, be exposed to other young students who are working, to have mentors there who are willing to help teach, to have people who are willing to work with you to reach out to make certain that every opportunity for advancement is provided to those young lives. Then we went to a number of other houses that are being built, many of them of a variety that's something at American Electric Power, particularly AP Ohio, we're very proud of, energy efficient homes. In fact, to the point that Amy made, one, the greenest house in Ohio. That's pretty neat. Of course, I can't sell much electricity to a green house, but what can you do about that? We're just happy to see that housing stock be built, because the young boys and girls who will grow up in those houses will remember all of their lives, all of their lives. Now, Jerry mentioned I was born and raised in Fremont, Ohio, and when we were just young kids, we moved our house. I've never seen anything like it today. They don't do that anymore, but we moved our house because the school, Rutherford B. Hayes, our 19th president, was taking over some of the property as the school named after him was being expanded. And I'll never forget the idea and the pictures that our family kept of moving that house and setting it down in another neighborhood and getting to know the young boys and girls who lived in that neighborhood with us and growing up in that area. And to this day, when I go back to Fremont, Ohio, I go by that house. And in fact, I took my wife there some years ago. She grew up in metropolitan Detroit, and I said, Linda, you won't believe this house. It was huge. It was really neat. We had our own bedrooms. My sister had a bedroom. My brother and I, of course, had to share a bedroom. Being the youngest kid, I got the upper bunk. But at any rate, it was really neat. And we go there to look at this house, and I thought, wow, this is really small. Either I grew up or this house shrunk. I wasn't sure which it was. But let me assure you, young Palmer children, young boys and young men, you will remember this place all of your life. And the memories that you build there will serve you well all of your life. So Amy, to you and your team, to everyone who's here tonight, to all of you who devote your time, energy, effort, and financial resources to the 21,688 men and women who keep the lights on cost effectively 24/7, at least we try 24/7, across 11 states in this great country. Thanks for the opportunity to be here to accept this honor on your behalf. A number of them are here with us, so to you, my colleagues, to you in the audience, thanks. You are really the honorees, and I'm honored to be a featured speaker. And to the families, great stories, touching stories. God be with you. Thanks.
Thank you. Michael Morris, American Electric Power. Appreciate those remarks. Thank you all for doing what you do for CHP. Thank you again to our sponsors who are important to helping CHP achieve its mission every day. Your support demonstrates a commitment and confidence in CHP's work. You have heard about the great things happening here tonight. There is still so much work to be done. So as you leave, there are some small cards with CHP's program information on them. Now please take a few of these. If you know anybody who needs help or would benefit from a program or service that the Columbus Housing Partnership provides, please pass that card along to them. I hope each of you can find it in your hearts to help Central Ohio's families by supporting CHP financially. Contribution envelopes are available as you leave the theater this evening. I know many of you will want to continue talking, networking, and catching up tonight, so many of us will be heading across the street to Zanzibar to continue the celebration tonight. So we invite you to join us there. Thank you. Good evening. God bless, and have a safe travel home.